Now, supposedly Kim Porter was writing a book, and this was something that Diddy did not want to happen. Unsubstantiated theories allege that Kim was in the midst of writing a book that would reveal intimate details about her past with Diddy. Speculation about the contents include abuse allegations, especially in the wake of Cassie's lawsuit. Kim Porter's fans have expressed demands that her death case be reopened to rule out their suspicions of murder. According to this TikTok posted by user HisMrs23, there are blind items from an anonymous source claiming that there was a book in the works. Kim Porter was already writing it, and that's what could have motivated Diddy to go after her. I mean, that is his MO. If you guys listen to Crime Podcast, I love Crime Junkie. They always talk about an MO, and a book revealing Diddy's secrets. I mean, that's a pretty good damn reason why Diddy would want to get rid of her. There are alleged notes in relation to Kim's supposed book that claims that Kim put up and witnessed certain things throughout their relationship. These things were allegedly going to be exposed in her tell-all book. The note also references other accusations reportedly involving Diddy, which include having to allegedly cover up Diddy's gay relationships, Diddy's alleged giving Usher an STD, and an explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom. At one point, there was a note about Mary J. Blige being pregnant with Diddy and having an abortion. So there's a lot of exclusives that are told in this piece, which we don't know is fact or not.
When looking over the details of Kim and Diddy's relationship that will be exposed in the book, it will absolutely blow your mind. I was devastated to read the things that Kim put up with and witnessed during her relationship with Diddy. Also, some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom, Mary J. Blige being pregnant by Diddy, and of course, she had an AB, the beatings Kim took, pushing him down the steps in 2007 and him breaking his foot. Also, how she would use a strap-on to please Diddy and how she would hysterically cry alone after doing so. How she protected Al B. Sure from running into Diddy and would call him to warn him not to show up to certain places to avoid trouble. And how she tried to put an end to Diddy by using a screw. How the East Coast and West Coast faked having beef to eliminate Biggie and Pac to obtain their masters and full-on catalog before Pac and Big were planning to come together and challenge Bad Boy and Death Row to own the rights to their music.
Now, this book wasn't ever publicly announced, but there are claims that Kim had footage of Diddy and Usher being intimate. Ooh. When Kim passed away, the house was reportedly robbed of 2 laptops, which led people to believe that there was additional information or footage to be covered up. This person wrote on Twitter that Kim Porter was writing a tell-all book, then magically died and the computer misplaced. Al B. Sure got violently sick after blaming her death on Diddy, and then Kid Cudi's car got blown up for dating Cassie. So if you're wondering why people are scared to speak up against Diddy, this is why, because a lot of them end up dead or not okay, or I mean at least traumatized. Now I'm really excited for this segment in the podcast because we're talking about Sloan Bella, who is a fellow Sloan. Actually, I remember when I started on YouTube, she was like, she's been on YouTube forever, but she was like, who's this Sloan person? Did he steal my name? And I'm like, no, my name is also Sloan. But she is a psychic medium and she covers a lot on YouTube. Again, go ahead and check out Sloan. We like to support fellow Sloans. One day I hope to like collaborate with her in some capacity, but she's talked about Kim Porter and it is fascinating. Have you ever felt uncomfortable or unheard during a doctor's visit? It's the worst. You shouldn't have to feel that way when it comes to your health. Introducing ZocDoc, the platform where you could find and book doctors who listen and make you feel comfortable. ZocDoc offers tens of thousands of top-rated doctors with verified patient reviews. No more guessing games or awkward appointments. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately. No more waiting awkwardly on hold with a receptionist. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat basically any condition you're looking for. The typical wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is between 24 and 72 hours. That's it. You can even score some same-day appointments. So if you need a doctor, this is what I use. Go to ZocDoc.com/Sloan and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/SLOAN. ZocDoc.com/Sloan. Thank you for listening, and now back to the show. Now, do you guys believe in psychic abilities? Comment below. But Sloan was, it's so weird to say her name. Sloan Bella was born with psychic medium abilities, as well as being a technically trained astrologer and a modern day metaphysician. Oh, wow. And she's also the mother of 2 boys. Look at her. Now, she actually began her career on the streets of Toronto, Canada, working with missing and exploited children. By the age of 17, Sloan Bella was established as a professional psychic medium. She worked on a bunch of different projects and really built a great rapport. I mean, there's a reason why people listen to what she has to say, because she is talented. She had an NBC series back in 1995, The Other Side. She worked on a show titled The Love Psychic. She's been on various programs. So clearly she's, again, I just want you guys to know, she's got some skill. There's people listening to her. There's people who believe in her abilities. So whether you believe in psychic mediums or not, she's got something to say, and I'm here to listen to it. I do want to mention that she was able to predict Cassie's lawsuit months before it actually happened.
November of 2023. So her death date was November 15th of 2018, but I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't think we're done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stare at me, then she wait, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared. She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight up, and there are people going to speak, not just about what happened to her, about other things. Something is unraveling.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. She predicted it. And she even said November 2023. That's when Cassie revealed her lawsuit. That's really the beginning of like Diddy's, recent downfall. I mean, really his biggest downfall ever, because he's been in scandals before, but there's no going back this time. Sloan Bella also predicted Diddy's house being raided.
I am seeing something by March with P. Diddy, another level of this. We're not done. It's like he's going to have to keep putting tarps over the hole in the roof because the rain keeps coming through. So just when he thinks he covered up the hole, another hole starts down there. And when he thinks he covered that hole, another hole starts over there. So it's not going to stop. Like he's not off the hook.
And that assessment is so accurate, because I'm sure he felt relieved when he settled with Cassie, but then there was this federal investigation that presented itself. Sloan Bella is still working her magic, and she's now predicting that it will soon be revealed that Kim Porter actually passed away from toxic metals and so much more. So let's go ahead and react to her prediction together.
Who passed away due to alleged pneumonia, but there's a lot in her body that's metal toxicity or metal toxins. She's like, out with it, out with it. Toxic metal exposure. Toxic metal exposure through some kind of metallic something, metal, that's like a pencil shavings.
Okay, so, I mean, maybe she's assuming like lead poisoning. I mean, that could totally kill you. And I think when people are poisoned, it typically is with a heavy metal, because those are extremely dangerous to get into our blood system. I don't know how he would have been able to get her to consume these. I mean, I'm sure there are professional hit people who go and poison people, putting on their doorknobs, putting it, in their water. I was thinking like, I wonder if there's, because an individual house could get like a water system. Could they go and like infect that water system? I mean, I don't know how they could have gotten it into her system, but these type of reactions she had from the pneumonia would align with what someone who has been poisoned with heavy metals would be experiencing.
So think of how tiny that is. And it went in through the nasal cavity, through a sniffer thing for colds or for allergies, whatever, nose spray. And it was tampered with. So many things were tampered with. Oh my God, her phone was hijacked. She had a second phone, by the way, and nobody got that phone. That phone is hidden. I don't think anybody knows where that phone is because she didn't tell anybody before she passed, but she had a second phone. So conversations about what's going down and coming out were done on a, quote, burner phones. I think she's like, no, don't say it, but I'm going to say it. I feel like she has either a post office box, a bank security box.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know exactly how the medium experience happens. I mean, if Kim would want this to be found or not. But I've heard of other cases where people will go and hide evidence. I mean, I just heard of a podcast this morning where someone had left a letter behind that they were part of a hitman case and revealed it. And I could totally see Kim, planting this evidence so that one day when this investigation went down, they would go and find it and reveal so much that she had been going through. It's interesting that she's talking about the nasal spray and other things being tampered. So it seems like maybe this could have been added into products or things in her home. And I am assuming that Diddy had access to the home because he had 3 kids with her and, big part of her life. I don't know what kind of standing they were at this point, but Diddy tries to make it seem like they were in regular communication, which would make it easier for him to even go and get into her home and to poison her, and maybe getting his kids out of there was a strategy so they wouldn't be using these products that are toxic.
Something storage box that nobody knows about, and it'll be found, but I feel like she was hiding things there. A few years before Kim passed, so probably 2016-ish time frame, thereabouts, could have been 2017, but a long enough time where it was more than 12 months, might not have been quite 2 years. She was speaking to authorities. Now, who the authorities are, I don't think it's like local cops. I think it's maybe more like people who investigate things. She was speaking to them about something that she became aware of. And she had never been aware of this before. She'd been aware of a lot of things. Don't kid yourself. She was not sheltered and she was not naive to whom she had children with. But this was different. This was like a whole notch up of like, oh my God, she was communicating with authorities. I heard that.
That gives me goosebumps. Like what? Trafficking scheme, drug things? Was it just like learning about what Cassie had gone through? Just like, I have no idea what it could have like been that prompted her, but it would be fascinating if this does come about and is revealed.
Authorities were aware of something, that information that she had, and were asking her to gather more, and I'll use the word intel, but more information about a particular instance. Now, the instance, what I was shown is the instance went back to a party that she attended, and it was a very formal gathering with very high backseat chairs and a very, very long table, a very dark room with like crimson coloring inside this room. It's a formal dining dinner of some kind, and people are talking all across, and there's different kinds of people. These aren't just music.
Why does this sound like such a scary movie, like some elitism thing? Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I shouldn't even be watching this. Like, are the elites out to get us? Like, is this something that Kim Porter had witnessed? And she was like, oh damn, we need to expose this. But then of course no one's gonna let that fly.
People, these are all kinds of people. These are different people. At this dinner, there was some brokering deals done, okay? Because I feel like she was invited and observant, but not participant, okay? So she was not participating in this, but she observed what was going on. And I feel like it upset her. The ritualized sexual abuse of minors, that is what she hooked into. That is what she found out.
I am shook. I have goosebumps. I am shaking. I am sweating because I love that stuff. And if it is true, I mean, it is so damning. What if this federal investigation is about this? Like, what if Kim Porter is going to get justice in some way and her soul will be at peace? We could only hope so. But I want to talk a little bit about the autopsy report because that's something super controversial in her death. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.